Hi everyone, in today's videos I'm going to share a little bit more about my experience in the United States as an exchange student. So let's dive in. I chose to go in the US because I really loved the culture from the movies. I was just so impressed by it. And I also had two older of my cousins go there for an exchange student a couple of years before me. So I had heard their experience and I was just impressed and amazed by it. So that's why I decided to do it in the United States. I lived in the suburbs of Muskegon, which is a small city in Michigan. It was a really quiet area, 10 minutes by car from the lake, and it was actually just lovely. So most of the time with the exchange programs, it actually works that you just choose online an agency. There's so many out there. You can just type on Google exchange student programs and a bunch come out. But once you selected the one you want to work with, you just text them or you call them, you apply, and they cannot reject you. But you send in all the applications and you start the planning. They do the whole job for you. There are also a couple of programs where you actually have to get selected, but those are more state specific, and most of the time it's for agencies that work directly with the government. So in those cases, it's a little bit more selective because they also give out scholarships. Whereas that's not the case if you actually choose to go with an agency. With an agency, there is no scholarships and you just pay in full. I found it online. I just started to search online about many different agencies and I narrowed down to a couple. I had a call with them and then I eventually selected the one that I applied for and I went through the whole process. So it all comes down on just searching online as many as you can. Just kind of start to select which ones do they feel more trustworthy and those that feel a little bit more sketchy, and just narrow it down to what you feel it's more suitable for you. And once you kind of find those 2-3, you can actually have a call with them, understand how they organize the program, ask for some reviews, and once you have all the information from all the programs, you can just select the one that you prefer. I was supposed to stay in the United States for 10 months, from August until June. Normally those are the dates if you stay for 10 months. If you're going to the United States, it's August, June. If you're going to Australia, it might be July, May. But instead of staying 10 months, I stayed just 7. I ended my exchange year in April because COVID broke out and I had to go back. Yes, I was in high school and I was in my senior year. When you're 16 or 17, they normally send you in as a senior in high school. My host family was best host family I could have asked for. They were actually an old couple and they had previously, I think it was 11 exchange students before me. I was their last one actually. They already knew how to kind of behave with exchange students, but however, it's different from person to person. I really had a great, amazing experience thanks to them, and I think they had to. So I'm just really grateful that I got picked by this amazing couple. When you apply for your exchange year, you can pick the state you want to be in through a selective program. So you pay a little bit more and you select to go to California and you go to California. But at the same time, the family still has to pick you. So there is no way for you to just choose this family you're gonna be with. What surprised me the most was the equipment that they had in classes or just laboratory, like the art laboratory, the photography laboratory. It was just, they had everything. It's why equipment of thousands and thousands of dollars, equipment that is supposedly dangerous for students to use, they had it all and they let you use it as well. It was wild to me. And then also how easy actually American high school is. I would say people from Europe and even from Asia have a higher standard of studying, whereas in the United States it's actually just really easy and just really chill. Okay, as an exchange student, you're not taken as seriously as their students. However, still it's not as difficult as European schools. Yes, I gotta be honest, it was not hard in a sense oh, it was impossible, but Americans have a different friendship style, I would say. In the United States, it's a lot more okay, we talk, but we talk just because this is the moment right now. So from that point of view, it was a little bit difficult because most of the people are just superficial. They come to you because you're new, you're a foreigner, you're from your own country, so they are like, oh, how is Italy? Like, I've never been, like, tell me more about the culture, the food. And once they get all this information and you're like, oh, okay, like you get a bump of adrenaline and feel like, okay, I'm making friends, this is good. They're just like get bored kind of a thing, because maybe your English speaking skills are not that good yet, or maybe because they were just actually interested in getting to know more about Italy and they kind of leave. So you're back home, and it's like, it's a kind of a weird cycle. At least that was the case for me. So you meet people, you talk to them, and then they kind of disappear and you're back alone, and then you meet people. So it just goes on like that. Eventually you make friends. The best way to make friends is actually through sports and through activities outside of school, like photography class, art laboratory, sports like volleyball, lacrosse, going to the hockey games or the football games. That really helps a lot. However, it takes time, and also it depends from person to person. Some people are more shy, some people are more open. So as I mentioned, school was really easy, and also sports and the activities are really pushed in the United States. So once you finish school, you actually like start your second part of the day when you are involved into the sports. Every semester they play different sports. So for guys, it's, for example, football in the fall, basketball and hockey in the winter, and then lacrosse and soccer in spring. For the girls, it's volleyball, basketball and lacrosse as well. Another thing that was different was the food. Much more greasy, much more fatty and processed. It's way heavier into your body. You feel like taking a nap after eating. Definitely beware of the food that you eat. I'm not saying like, oh, you shouldn't eat hamburgers or you shouldn't go to fast foods, because like that's kind of impossible. In the American culture, most of the families always go to fast foods. That's like the American lifestyle. So you went there to experience it. But I would say also just beware. And then also the family, it definitely varies from person to person and from family to family. It depends on how you're used to back home. So for example, my family was used to wake up really early, go to sleep quite early, and therefore like all the meals were quite early as well. Wake up around 6:37. So breakfast was like 7. Lunch was at 11. It was really early. That's because in American high school they have like 3 or 4 hours and then 2 hours or 3 hours after lunch. And then dinner was at 5:36, which was really early for me, because then I stay awake until like 10, 11 and I get hungry again. And therefore I got into the habit of eating a snack after dinner, which was maybe not the best idea, because of all of the snacks that I used to eat were cookies, ice cream, brownies, and some fruit as well. So that was something for me to adapt. It's just like you have to be open to make changes in your life, because you went there to experience the whole American lifestyle, and that means adapting as well. It definitely takes time to adapt. For some people it's faster, for some people it's slower. To me, I would say in the first 3 weeks I wasn't really talking that much, because my English was really bad and I was trying to understand how to behave and how to adapt to my new life, and therefore I was just like observing a lot. And then once I got into it, I started to open up a little bit and talk and just like express myself, start to use my English and improve. So it was a lot of just like taking time to understand how to adapt and how to change my schedule, my routine, and just like my whole mindset into it. After these 3 weeks, it was like, okay, this is now time for me to improve my language. So my favorite thing about American high school is the fact that you can choose your classes. That is awesome, just because you can just choose whatever. Exchange students have to pick 3 subjects that are mandatory. So one is English, of course. One is geometry, can be algebra, can be calculus, whatever works for you. And then you have to pick either American government or American history. These are the 3 subjects that you have to choose. All the other 3, you can choose whatever you want. Like I did ceramics, I did theater, sports, photography class. It was amazing. I loved it all. It was really fun. It was so different from what I'm used to. Learned to use equipment that I'd never touched or never seen in my life. It was definitely an amazing experience, because I got to try things out, to test things out, and just to experience everything. So I would say when you plan on going to your exchange, just pick the weirdest and random subjects that you can think of, because it's not gonna really have an impact on your studies back home. You went there to experience everything. it made me mature unproportionately, and it also made me so much more independent than I would ever think I would be. Overall, coming back and looking back, for the person that left Italy to go to the United States and the person that came back is like a girl versus a woman. But it definitely opened my eyes to understand how life is outside of school. It makes you more independent because yes, you have a host family, yes, you have a tutor, but you're still there by yourself. So it's just you and yourself. You have to deal with it. You have to like get a grip into it. You have to like control your mindset as well, because the moment you start to just spiral down in negative thoughts, it goes down and down and down, and you just want to go back home. That was the case for one of the students I was with. He was just having a good time. He was just like spiraling down on how difficult it was to make friends. And once you think about it, it's just like it shifts your mindset, and whatever you think will happen, you know. Oh, so what do you think the most, it's gonna happen in real life. So it also has an impacted on the way I think and the way I behave as well. I try to always be positive. I try to always take things lightly. What I learned about myself when I was living abroad is that I can just handle whatever situation I am in. I never thought like believing in yourself was an important thing to do, but when I was there and when I was actually like making improvements with my English, I was actually understanding everything everybody was saying and so forth. I was actually like building trust in within my skills, in within my abilities, and within myself. So I started to definitely just like have more trust in me. Was when I landed in New York. So I just had like a kind of a panic moment. I was like, okay, a little bit tired. My internet wasn't working that much. Everybody was like texting their family, hey, I landed. Everything is fine. But I couldn't because my internet was not working. And then I got to the hotel. That moment it hit me. I was in the United States for 10 months. When I was planning on going there, I was like, yes, United States, beautiful, beautiful. When I landed there and I was there, I was like, the fuck did I do? Why am I here? Like, why? So I had a little bit of a shock moment. I was like, what am I doing here? What am I gonna do? Like 10 months here? Like, how am I gonna survive? Like, why did I do it? What about my family? Was just having a conversation with someone, a deep conversation when you could actually exchange your thoughts, open up a little bit more about yourself, and just like let it out. It was difficult because my English was not that good, so I was not able to express myself. I wanted to say something, but I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't know the words, so I was not gonna say. You kind of just like get used to it. You have to talk as much as you can and just open up as much as you can, even though you're gonna make so many mistakes, even though some sentences may not make sense, even though it's gonna be embarrassing and you might get the pronunciation wrong. It's something that you just have to deal with until you get used to it. I would do it again over and over and over. I would recommend it to everyone. I'm gonna make my kids do it. Definitely changes you as a person. It differentiates your path from what you used to think, and it opens up so many different other options for you. You're not in a movie. I would say it's fun. It looks like how it is in the movies, but nobody's gonna come to you because you're like a foreigner. So the movies actually show how schools are there, but at the same time, it's way too fictional to be real. Nobody cares about you in a sense. You're just one of the other students. You don't have the mindset like, oh, I'm gonna go to the United States. I'm gonna go to parties. I'm gonna go to football games. Yeah, of course you can do, like, you can go to the football game. You can go to the hockey game. But you're just gonna be one of the many just watching the game. So I would say just like try to realize that what you see in the movies and what you hear from like people and what you see in videos, it's one thing, and actually being there, it's another thing. Things that I would pack differently are my clothes. When you pack and you have those maybe clothes, you're like, oh, maybe I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it. Yeah, don't bring those, because you're gonna buy a bunch of stuff there and you're gonna come back with an extra luggage for sure. Like that happened to all the exchange students I was with. Don't overpack with things that you're like, oh, maybe this one I'm gonna use, or maybe this one, because you're definitely not gonna use them. It varies from person to person. What's the advice that I would give to everyone is to get busy. Do all the activities that you can. Participate as many things that you can, like go to the football games, go to the hockey games, go to the basketball games, play sports after school. Do as much as you can to keep yourself busy during the day and to get tired as well. Also, make sure that you realize that every day you're making improvements. Although those are really small 1% improvements, every day they're gonna add up to, and you're gonna just like become a whole different person at the end of the exchange. Tips for people who are just starting out their exchange: I would say whatever sounds cool that you want to try, want to do, or just like think of doing, just do it, because you only live once, and your exchange year, it's, yes, a year of learning but also of experience. So if you want to go mini golf, go mini golf. If you want to go on the go-karts, go on the go-karts. Try whatever you want. Always try something different and never like step back and feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. If you thought about it, that means that you want to do it. So just go with it, and whatever sounds cool to you, just do it. You're gonna have an amazing memory, and you're gonna just like enjoy it so much and make your experience even more fulfilling. Try to not set any expectations for your exchange year, and that's because once you have certain expectations and you get there and maybe they're not as high, everything looks so bad. Like it feels like you're in this hole and you're just like falling down and down and down. Whereas if you don't have any expectations, you just land there, and it like you can kind of just go up from there. There's no secrets that like are gonna make it less unbearable, more easy, or just more chill. It really depends from person to person. It's really subjective. What I would say is just try and never stop trying in whatever. If it's friends, if it's talking to your family, if it's talking to your teachers, and practice your English. Try and never give up. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. In my next videos, I'm gonna talk more about traveling, how to organize your abroad experiences, and what kind of mindset it's good to have when you go to live abroad. Thank you. Have a good day.